Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Saturday evening to you all. Hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend out there so far. A great Saturday. I know personally I got a lot of things done that I need to get done today. So it was a good day. Just blowing a lot of leaves around. So certainly cleaning up from all the leaves that continue to fall. But I hope you guys are, like I said, having a great weekend. Tonight, we're really going to discuss and really try to break down what's going on this coming work week. Just to let you guys know, this was a changing topic. Things are going to change. It might change in more of the way of favoring winter weather or not. But I can tell you there's certainly two systems to watch here. One coming up here in the next 48 hours, and then another potentially, a potential storm towards the end of the work week. I'm saying potential because there might not even be a storm. We're going to take a look at a few things here. So if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. For people who've been following along a long time, especially since last winter, you guys know that I'm a big winter weather fan and enjoy talking about winter weather with you guys. Certainly my favorite topic in the weather world out of all the weather topic is certainly winter weather. So if you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. So just know that really outside this first event that's about to move through here in the next 48 to 72 hours, the details are not going to be there in this video. I'm not going to know how many inches of snow you're going to get at your house, and I'm just not going to have a ton of details, guys. But we're going to talk about the pattern as a whole. So, and just give you pretty much the straightforward details on what we know right now. So what we do know is the pattern-changing cold front continues to work through portions of the country. It has not quite cleared the southeast yet. It's actually still pretty mild at my house here in Columbia, South Carolina, around 64 degrees. But I can tell you, other areas in the south are pretty cold. There's areas of Tennessee that did not get out of the 30s today. The temperatures were dropping throughout the entire day in Alabama and portions of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. This will continue to be the case, and then by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, it'll feel like a different world in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. It's not going to be freezing or anything, but it'll feel much more chillier as a much colder air mass comes in, and then you'll have freezing temperatures getting almost all the way to the Gulf Coast, entire state of Tennessee, Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, and certainly the Midwest and the north central U.S. well below freezing up here. Cold temperatures all the way to Houston, Texas, where you guys, especially the northern suburbs, could potentially get into the upper 30s. But this will continue to clear the eastern U.S. throughout the day tomorrow. So the first topic here is really just looking at this as a whole and trying to figure out what's going to happen. Let's take a look at the Euro first. First off, there's going to be a system that's going to swing through over here. Now, for you folks in Oklahoma, we're going to get a closer look at you guys. Trust me, just hang with me. But this first system moves through. It could be a little bit, notice the Euro is always a warm bias model. So it's going to show the warmest scenario. But this first system moves through, flies through, brings some snow up here for the Great Lakes, north central U.S. area. But this could be the first, I would say, substantial snow event for areas of the interior Northeast, not New York City or Boston, but the interior Northeast to higher elevations, maybe as far south as Albany, New York, all of New Hampshire, Vermont potentially. This could be a doozy of a winter storm, early season winter storm for you guys, maybe midway through the work week. This moves through, dumps potentially a good bit of snow, several inches of snow. Certainly possible. And then again, you could have some snow showers whipping through Wednesday evening into Thursday morning for the Ohio Valley, and that moves through. And then we watch a system that's not showing up on the Euro down here, but it's showing up on the GFS, which is I'm about to show you. But we're going to watch to see if there's some kind of energy down here this weekend. And with cold air very close by in this region right here, we got to watch any moisture that pops up down here. Euro shows a system, but it's much later than the GFS, and the cold air is retreating. GFS, let's talk about this. Same kind of situation. Here comes the system that fires up. I think areas of Oklahoma City, Tulsa, you guys are going to see snow again come as early as starting sometime during the day Monday. So sometime here in the next 48 to 72 hours, this begins to start. Could be heavy at times. And then areas of southern Missouri, even Kansas, northwest, northern Arkansas could see some heavy snow overnight, Monday night into Tuesday. And I think by Tuesday, this will be heading out. I've had a couple people ask about Texas. I think this is going to be a cold rain for you folks in northern Texas. I think maybe if you're in the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma, you certainly could see a little bit of snow out of this, but not a substantial event. But the low pressure is way down here. And on the northern end of this, Missouri certainly could see some snow, Illinois, but certainly not as much beef to this storm way up here. But we'll continue to watch, and I can tell you just in general that the GFS is not as robust for the storm for the Northeast as the European. The GFS is, I would say, just has the low pressure much further south. So, yeah, sure, you got some snow breaking out way up here in the north central U.S., but it's not as a substantial winter storm as what the European is showing. But one thing the GFS does show that the European does not is this southern low pressure with a lot of cold air up here. You see a little bit of blue showing up. This would be for Thursday afternoon. And then watch how this moves through. Look, the cold air is so close by in Mississippi and Louisiana that the GFS likes the idea of some wet snow way down here in Louisiana and Mississippi. Am I buying this yet? No. But it's something we need to watch to see if the European trends north and brings a system into this. But the GFS shows just a low riding system right here with cold air nearby, like I said. And you see the blues popping up here. It just gives you the idea of how close this is on the GFS, which isn't always the most reliable model run out there. But the GFS shows a wet snow event for portions of North Carolina, and then it heads on out, and then it's a non-story. It doesn't really do much after that. And but I can tell you some of the runs of the GFS some of the prior runs did show a substantial winter storm for even areas of Virginia and North Carolina, but it's hard to buy it, guys. It really is. Canadian model, same kind of deal. Shows a nice system for Oklahoma. And we're going to talk about totals here for you folks with this first system yet. No point in talking about totals with the second system because we don't even know if there's going to be a second system. But the Canadian has the system for Arkansas, Oklahoma, maybe Missouri, maybe parts of the Ohio Valley. And then I would say the Canadian follows a little bit more of the European. Has a nice snow event for the interior areas of the Northeast sometime to Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon. But I would say probably doesn't snow as hard and as heavy and just accumulates as heavy as maybe the European. But in general, and at the same time, with all these systems that fly through, you're going to have cold air that comes behind, kicks up these northwest flow. My guy that lives up there in western North Carolina, he's already reporting snow tonight. We're going to have a northwestern flow kicking up in the Tennessee and North Carolina high elevations tonight. So snow flying pretty far south even tonight, but it's obviously in the mountains. So as far as snowfall totals with this first system, that we're pretty confident it's going to happen. We'll take a look at areas of Oklahoma first. This is the European. It's very splotchy on the European because it's a warmer model. And in general, shows pockets of a few inches of snow in Oklahoma, Kansas, the panhandle of Oklahoma, and even shows a little bit of accumulating snow in Amarillo, 1 to 2 inches. But it's not very impressive here in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas. But you turn around and you look at the GFS run, and it really wants to bullseye Oklahoma, almost the entire state of Oklahoma. Several inches of snow. And it's hard for me to say this is not going to happen after what we saw last night with that system. So I think Oklahoma is going to certainly see snow. A lot of Oklahoma is going to see snow as we're getting into Monday. So go on and get ready to this. I'm not calling this like a major winter storm, but I think it's an event that could drop a few inches of snow at minimum for certain areas. Oklahoma City, you certainly need to pay attention to your National Weather Service, which is certainly going to go conservative. But it really likes the idea of northwest Arkansas and then far eastern areas of Oklahoma, seeing a few inches of snow. So it really favors that area. And then this area right here in western Oklahoma and areas of Kansas, a couple inches of snow. Now, we move a little bit further on down the road, and let's make sure, let's just look at this here and see how this unfolds here. Now notice, first off, the European really likes the idea of, and this is actually what happened today. So let's make sure, you know what, let's see if the actual 18Z Euro is out. And so let's roll this through and let's see how far it goes out here. 18Z Euro, here it goes, it's coming in, and here it goes. Same kind of situation, just doesn't drop a lot of snow with this first system. It doesn't. In fact, it brings it a little bit further north. Got a nice band of snow in Kansas, some snow in northern or north central Missouri, but this doesn't drop a lot of snow with this system. It doesn't. You look at, let's say, the GFS, and it brings more snow. And let's make sure this isn't the snow that already fell, and it's not. Brings I would say 2 to 4 inches widespread in northwest Arkansas, and then a nice little band of snow into southern areas of Missouri. Not just southern areas, but almost the entire state of Missouri sees a little bit of snow, accumulating snow potential. Then Illinois, another snow event for you guys, maybe a 1 to 2 inch snow event. This is off the GFS, and then brings a little bit of some flakes flying around in the Ohio Valley, but I think this will really be fizzling out. If we were to look at the blend of all models, and it just doesn't show a lot of love with this system for anyone. So, but in general, we'll watch this first system. It'll be an interesting system to watch. But let's talk about you folks in the Northeast. The European Ensembles, very respectable thing to look at, really likes the idea of this system. Let's see here. This system really getting going that gives snow to areas of the Southern Plains and the Mississippi Valley. It really likes it, really kind of exploding off the coast of the Northeast and potentially bringing a good bit of a little wave of some nice snow, maybe several inches of snow for Maine and then certain areas up here. But if you're just going to just keep the run going throughout the next week, all the way into Sunday morning, between lake effect snow and just continuous pieces of energy that could potentially fly through the Northeast, between now and the next about week, the interior areas of the Northeast could see several inches of snow. I'm talking about Pennsylvania, interior New York State, but Boston to New York City to Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., you're not going to get snow off of this stuff unless something major substantially changes here. But this is certainly something to watch, guys. But you look at let's go on and take a look. We can look at the GEFS ensembles too, and certainly not quite as aggressive, especially further south, but it really likes the Great Lakes snow machines really kicking, and in general still shows areas of the far interior Northeast and mountainous areas of the Northeast seeing a decent amount of snow in these regions. But like I said, not as far south as the European ensembles. You talk about the signal for that second system for the Southeast, and we look at the GFS ensembles. The reason I'm showing this is because really the GFS is the only operational model that shows love for any kind of snow deeper into the Mid-Atlantic or or North Carolina or just the Southeast in general. You take it through all the way to the duration of that event, and notice there's no signal. The only signal I see is down here in Louisiana and Texas. And but just in general, there's no signal for this system. There really isn't. I'm not going to lie to you guys and sugarcoat it. I mean, it shows up a little bit down here in Texas, but and here it comes. Here comes that system right here. A little bit of a signal there. I wouldn't call it a signal though when it's a 1/10 and a 20th of an inch of snow. But in general, guys, we're watching this time frame. I know a lot of viewers view in from the Southeast and the South in general, and I get it. We love snow for the most part here in the South, but I don't think, if I had to call it, I just don't believe the GFS for now. We need to see if the other models will show some love to the GFS. If they don't, then it's hard to believe just the GFS. But That's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great night. God bless all y'all, and I'll be with y'all in the morning.